Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show hosted by a basement dweller who grew up scrounging terrible fan subs on sketchy websites prior to the convenience of modern streaming, alongside a willfully ignorant soul whose only knowledge of anime comes from the shows forced upon him here. This show will contain spoilers, incorrect information, and copious amounts of adult language. Our hosts are not experts on any topic, and everything they say should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And to let you all in a little secret about me, I secretly hate anime.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
All right, Remington. Got a confession to make.
Oh?
I flipped a coin for today's episode.
God damn it. just last week's chaotic episode, it was too overwhelming that you just needed to relax.
I needed to vent a little bit. I needed to do something that wouldn't cause me too much undue stress or brain power. So I picked two anime and then I flipped a coin between the two.
All right, well, hopefully the coin was in my favor as much as it can be.
I mean, that remains to be seen, Remington. Like I know what anime we're covering, right?
Yep.
But your opinion on it could go literally either way.
Ah, okay, so it's not one that, in your mind, there's no obvious answer, in your opinion, to how I'll respond to it.
Like, much like my coin flip of deciding it's a coin flip of you going between, weebs are lonely again.
Oh,
or,
shit. All right. I mean, that was the theme of last week, so I guess we're just continuing.
Hey, man.
That.
Look, at least this time, you're not going to get much argument from me. Yeah, so it's either going to be A, weebs are lonely again, or B, oh, this is about adults, therefore, it's automatically better.
I mean, that will almost certainly help. All right, so what is this lonely adult anime we're covering?
That's right, Remington. Lonely adult anime. We're talking hentai today.
Oh, no.
We're watching the
so
smuttiest smut. Perfect for lonely weebs.
Mistakes were made.
No. No, it's actually a really simple one, Rem. We are going to be covering a little comedy slice of life rom-com again, but this time it's about adults, which doesn't happen a lot. It's happening more, and I'm thankful for that, but it doesn't happen as much as you would hope.
All right, and with these adults, what's going on with them? What's the title of the show? What's the plot? What's the premise? What's the idea?
It's a very simple one, Rem. The title of this series is simply Senpai ga Uzai Kōhai no Hanashi.
Wait a minute.
Did you not get that?
That sounds wildly familiar. I am 100% sure that I have heard that before.
Really? Are you sure you
But
just haven't heard some of the words in it before? Are you slowly picking up Japanese words?
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it was like in a Patreon name.
Oh, it's definitely a possibility. I've stopped paying attention when people put Patreon show recommendations in the Patreon because,
you don't want to be swayed by the people giving us money.
It's not so much that.
Corporate lobbying won't work with us, we will choose whatever shitty anime we want.
That being said, if there are any interesting brands out there that want to give us money to shill their products, we'll happily do it.
No, I am 95% sure that that's where I heard it. It was when I said it repeatedly for Patreon readings. And now I finally get to see what the fuck's going on.
That'll be interesting because
I don't know if the person was like, if they had commented on it or if they were recommending it or what, but I remember reading it.
Okay. I will also say it is a possibility that you are just recognizing some of the words, like senpai and kohai. You.
No, I am so confident.
All right. I'll take.
If you are that patron, right, who had that in their name, email us. Discord, Twitter, just confirm it for me so I know I'm not crazy.
Okay. But the English translation of it is My Senpai is annoying.
Okay, all right, sure.
Yeah, nice and straightforward. And it is literally just a little story about two people. Our main female protagonist, Futaba Igarashi, She is an office lady, working for a company, and it's about her friendship and relationship with her senpai, Harumi Takeda, and their little office environment and comedy, and a little bit of comedy, a little bit of romance, a little bit of blushy moe kyun stuff. You know,
All right, sure.
nice and easy.
I feel like it. Like, is there anything more?
I mean, yeah, like the
Feels-
main gimmick is that Futaba is tiny, you know, proper little
Oh.
tiny person, often like
Okay.
mistaken for not being an adult, you know, that kind of trope.
Hmm,
And Harumi is a big dude.
how original.
I know. And it's just
I think we've only covered like 4 or 5 anime with that exact same idea.
Rem, I feel like you're
so,
shooting
know.
high. We've covered at least 6. And
Oh, we've
it's
covered
just
too many.
it's just meant to be a cute little rom-com with some character interactions, and like, yeah, there's not much to describe. Part of the reason I added it to this coin flip because I wanted an easy time.
Yeah, after the stress and chaos of last week, you were like, I just need to
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed last week.
You just need a breather.
I need a breather, man. I need a breather. So I figured covering another anime from the Winter 2021 series would be a nice, easy way to just kind of ease me back into my flow of getting into more complex anime for us to look at and review. And who knows, Rem? Maybe you'll find this to be a lot more charming than some of the previous rom-coms we've discovered.
Well, only one way to find
Yeah,
out.
so without further ado, let's go watch some Senpai ga Uzai Kōhai no Hanashi.
What would make for better content? Replacing Goofy with Joey Wheeler, or replacing Joey Wheeler with Goofy?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
I want to replace Joey Wheeler with Goofy because having like that intensity, it'd be so good.
You ready to duel again, Koiba?
Gonna send you to the Shadow Realm. We have such terrible Goofies. We
do.
have that was
Like,
back to
objective-
back some of the worst
bad
Goofy
Goofies.
impressions.
Like,
Yeah.
I think that was the first time I've ever done a Goofy impression, and I now know why I haven't done it before.
We need to work on it. Who knows? Maybe. First of all, Goofy movie, best anime. Also, like, who knows? Maybe an April Fool's candidate.
I wouldn't be against that, honestly. That one wouldn't.
Fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back after watching 3 whole episodes of Senpai ga Uzai Kōhai no Hanashi. And, Remington, is this truly the anime you think you've heard multiple times, or have you just heard so many Japanese words at this point that it's all blending together and you've gaslit yourself into thinking you've heard this name before?
I definitely have, I'm pretty sure, read it multiple times on the Patreon, but nonetheless, more importantly, I think I understand why.
Oh, really?
I think the patron and you are just fucking with me now. You've decided, hey, we're in the 200s now, and you're like, yeah, let's fuck with them good. And it's worked. It has worked.
I don't know what you're talking about, Rem.
Well,
Surely this is just a cute little story about some adults and their antics together.
You know, for a solid 5 minutes, I was like, all right, yeah, cool. Like, it has we start with our main character, whose name is, I totally remember her name. Apparently, I didn't write it down anywhere.
Yeah, no, good work. Futaba, or
Futaba.
Igarashi.
Cool. Igarashi's probably easier. So Igarashi, she wakes up and we get just like this nice little morning routine scene. It felt a little bit Ghibli-esque. And I was like, all right, yeah, lovely. And it's all downhill from here, folks. It all just gets worse. You get a nice little opening, and then you said something both like in the part 1 and then also just now. Let's see, trying to remember. Oh, you said they were adults, right?
Yeah, they're adults.
Cool, perfect, awesome. So a little while ago,
Yeah.
we released a little special episode that was me complaining about some of the worst tropes in anime. right?
I do remember this episode.
Can't
Can't imagine why you're bringing it up now, though.
Yeah, you know, who knows? One of the tropes was just like tsunderes, fuck tsunderes. And indeed, Igarashi is a tsundere. So not great. She's at least not violent, which is a bonus. Already makes her one of the better tsunderes, but still a tsundere. But then too, and more problematically, she's just not an adult.
No, Ram. She's an adult. It says so in the show.
No, they say it, so therefore it's okay. So, Shaun, you know, I'm gonna go full steam ahead on this sumbitch. I'm just gonna go wild with it, and so you know how a very popular genre of porn is
oh god, you know an argument's gonna be great when it starts off with that.
is the step sibling, right? Oh no, step bro, what are you doing, etc.
Interesting.
And the reason why specifically step sibling is you get the taboo of incest, but then you get the but you're able to get that plausible deniability. Oh, we're not really related, so it's okay.
I mean, I like how you jump straight to the porn version when we've had this exact excuse in multiple anime as well.
God, it's true.
It says a lot about you personally, I think, Rem, that you go straight to porn.
I don't like making anime comparisons. Genuinely, in my day-to-day life, I almost always would feel less embarrassed making a porn comparison than an anime comparison. Like 9 times out of 10. But this show is just the equivalent of that, but it's, well, no, they're not really father and daughter. No, like, biologically, they're not father and daughter, so it's fine. No, it's not fine. It's not okay. But let's get into the show so I can really point out the specific instances of my critique, shall we?
Oh, I'm sure everybody is shocked and appalled that you'll have any critiques of this show and what they might be. But you know what? Let's humor you, Rem. Let's continue with the podcast and see where it goes from here.
Sure. So, one of the first lines of dialogue we get from our protagonist, who, as mentioned, very small, and very importantly, flat-chested. And I say very importantly because about 60% of her character is that. One of the first lines of dialogue is noticing someone else with big boobs and being like, oh man, why can't I have big boobs? Instead, I have no boob. Wah. And the number of times we've seen this trope. Guys, fellas, if you're writing a female character, right, totally fine to have them be flat-chested, maybe even a little bit insecure. But it should not be the number one thing on their mind at all times. Fellas, I don't know why you think that women are always just obsessing about their own boob sizes. I know it's like in your mind that's all you can think of when you see them. That's not how they view them. They sort of view themselves as, you know, like a person. Like you and I. They view themselves as a complex human being. And so if you decide to write a female character, perhaps you should try writing them as such. Crazy, I know.
Oh god, wouldn't it be hilarious if this was written by a lady?
Is it?
Probably not, no.
Like, I would be surprised if it was.
Yeah, no, the artist is called Shiro Manta, and much about them is not known because So, interesting thing about a lot of, like, mangaka and Japanese media artists, they're pretty reclusive in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a question of whether or not they're using a pen name, they're using their real name. A lot goes on, but
you know,
yeah, no.
I wouldn't want to be associated with this shit stain of an anime either, so it makes sense.
Well, I mean,
can't
they
fault
have
them.
1 million followers on Twitter, so I feel like they're
Holy
popular
shit.
enough.
Oh my god, why? All right. So continuing on, she gets to work and we meet Takeda, who's big and loud and dumb, right? And that is his whole character. He's generally a good guy, but also just very boring. They also, like, they didn't even care to give him a main character design. Like, our protagonist, Igarashi, she has a protagonist design. Takeda just doesn't.
Oh, I think I just found out. I believe they are male, based on some articles I've read.
Perfect.
Which will surprise you, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. And we start, like, what I would definitely label as harassment. Like, Takeda, he sees Igarashi and he just, like, tussles her hair all about. And she doesn't like it, and he treats her like a child. And that, like, considering he is, like, her supervisor, yeah, no, I think that's low-key harassment. Not the worst harassment, but probably shouldn't be doing that.
It's not quite Blizzard levels, is it?
Yeah, and so, so Igarashi, she decides to get coffee, and she's like, and one of her coworkers shows up, and is like, oh, you drink coffee? And Igarashi's like, yeah, I'm an adult, so I drink coffee. And then she puts a lot of sugar in it because, haha, she's not actually an adult. Get it? She's just a child.
But she is an adult, Rem. Like,
later on, she leaves with Takeda. They go and get lunch together. And as they're getting lunch, Igarashi, she wants the kids' meal. And it has a toy. She wants the toy from the kids' meal, so she gets kids' meal and the toy because she's a kid. I really like this show. Let me put it this way: if you removed all of the dialogue talking about how she's actually an adult, that it would be the same fucking show. It'd be the same show. Just removing the plausible deniability. It's wildly uncomfortable because at every turn. At every single turn, it's like, no, she's an adult. Oh, but look at her doing all of these kids things. And also she looks like a child. Weird. It genuinely is one of the single most egregious uses of this trope I have ever seen. Especially,
really? Huh.
Especially this show, it says the quiet part out loud, Shaun. So some people may say, like, oh no, Remington. Like, you're reading too much into it, even though, like, I am obviously not. But at the end, right, I should mention, all the stuff I've described isn't even sort of the plot of episode 1. The second half, we sort of get into the plot of episode 1, which it's just introduced. Apparently, Igarashi fucked up some numbers for one of the client's orders. They have to fix it, and then they do. I don't know. That's it. And it's presented
I don't know if you can tell,
like that as well.
Plot ain't exactly the goal of this here show.
No, not at all. So they fix the problem, and Takeda and Igarashi, they go to a bar, and they get a little bit drunk together, having a conversation. And at one point, Takeda turns to Igarashi, right? And he says, if I had a wife and a kid, I would love for that kid to be like you. And then Igarashi's like, but why not let me be your wife? And that is the thesis statement of the show. Like, that is the premise. The premise is that they have a father and daughter dynamic, but, like, it's fine because they're not, like, actually father and daughter. It's like, it's okay, right? No! And it's not even like one of those things where it's like, oh, this dynamic, but they show that it's not really that dynamic. No, all the side characters, like in the next episode, they're like, oh yeah, you're like a father and daughter together, right? And it's emphasized so goddamn much. It is the focal point of the show. I hate this shit. So yeah, they say the quiet part out loud. They remove their plausible deniability. Like, I understand that the show wants to be about a father and daughter who end up together. But the weebs would pretend it isn't that. But then they basically blatantly say that that's what it is. Y'all. I don't know how to manage. I don't know.
Oh, Rem, I'm so sorry. I just thought I was doing you a favor. I found a story with adults, and I thought, that would be your cup of tea, Rem.
There's one adult, and that might make it worse. That might make it a whole lot fucking worse, dude. Like, this isn't even talking about, like, even if everything else was above board, there's still the not great power dynamics of dating your boss, right? Which already is problematic.
Well, she's not technically his boss. He's not technically her boss, excuse me. He's just her senpai, so they work on the same level essentially, but she kind of follows his advice and directions because, he's been there longer type of thing.
Oh man, sounds a lot like a boss to me. So episode 2, we see that Igarashi, she's embarrassed that she asked Takeda, why can't you see me as a wife or whatever, right? But they have a conversation and Takeda's not at all worried about it. He's fine. We cut over to let's talk a little bit about the 2 side characters who are having a romance. This is also not great, but it's far better than the main romance. So, and that is Sakurai and Kazuma. And Kazuma, he's a bit of like a loner, awkward dude, right? And Sakurai, she's super polite, super sweet, super kind, and also the show really wants you to know this. She has big boobs. It's very important that you know this, according to the show.
I don't know if I should talk to you about this live on the podcast, but lately you've been bringing up big boobs a lot. And
Oh, have I? It's a me thing, of course.
I just feel like there are other things to focus on when we cover a new anime,
But when the anime make it the focal point, when that is the point of a character. Okay, all right, I'm fine. I'm okay. So, basically, these 2 are into each other, but also, like, their romance arc sort of just gets resolved in these 3 episodes. But we start with salesmen, including Kazuma. They're looking out, and one of the salesmen is like, "Oh man, look at all these babes and how good their boobs are, especially Sakurai." And they talk about how they've all been like rejected by Sakurai, and one guy's like, "Oh, and every time I ask her, she says no so politely." Y'all, also, just a heads up, take no for an answer. If they say no once, that is enough. No harm in asking. No harm in being like, "Hey, would you be interested in going out to dinner sometime?" That's totally okay. And then if they say no, you stop. Leave them alone. Do not keep trying to push it in any way. That's not great. And that applies to fellas and ladies. Just anybody. Totally cool. Ask people out. Good on ya. Appreciate the initiative. If they say no, totally fine. Move on. That's okay. So then we get to we meet Igarashi's. Well, after a short scene where Igarashi, who is self-conscious about her lack of boobs, you will remember, she interrogates Sakurai about her big boobs. And it's like, "Hey, I want big boobs. Can I get big boobs? Oh man, if only I had boobs, then I would be a fulfilled person." That's all we women think about. And then we have a scene where we meet Igarashi's friend Natsumi. And Natsumi, I got a question about Natsumi.
Sure thing, Rem. What's your question?
So Natsumi has a darker complexion than all the other characters, right?
Yeah.
Which, like, hey, we don't often see that in anime. Cool. But she also has snake eyes? and I'm, it just seems a little bit weird.
Okay, let me...
When you're like, "Oh yeah, this darker skinned character. Also, they have snake eyes. Look how exotic they are." Like, that seems weird to me.
Okay, well, let me just start with saying that they are Japanese, to start with. And it's probably just a play on, tomboy Gyaru tropes,
I don't know. I am ignorant of that. I posited it this way because maybe there's a reasonable explanation, but also not a great, it seems a little bit of a thoughtless choice. I don't think malice was intended. I do think, you need to, have a little bit more self-awareness, perhaps.
I'm just saying, she's Japanese. That's all I'm saying.
Sure. Things you need to know about Natsumi. She's close friends with Igarashi, and she has big boobs as well. Why is that the main focus of every female character we're getting introduced to? Because this show is badly written. So they're walking down the street and everybody's staring at Natsumi's boobs, and Igarashi's like, man, if only I had big boobs. You're noticing a trend? Eventually they get little bear buns, like, I don't know if they're food or pillows. I genuinely don't know. Doesn't really matter.
They're probably food. Little onpan.
They
guys,
look
yeah.
like food, but they don't get eaten. Like,
Well,
I
you
thought
can't
they
animate
were.
every scene.
Well, yeah, but instead of using them as food, they go try on outfits, and Igarashi decides to stuff her bra with the bear buns to see what it's like. And then Natsumi peeks into the changing room and takes photos, which is weird and not okay, and I don't know what the point of that was.
I don't got an explanation for you on that one, boss. I don't.
We have the one moment that I found actually humorous. Igarashi, she keeps her bra stuffed, and she gets on train going home, and unfortunately Takeda and Kazuma, they arrive on that same train, and they interact, and Takeda's completely ignorant. He has no idea about the stuffed bra or anything. He's clueless. But Kazuma obviously notices, and they actually have some really good reactions from Kazuma. And it's the only valuable thing Kazuma has, because otherwise Kazuma is just a bland loner weirdo with no personality. But this moment of just him, like, looking back and forth, it was a good moment. I liked it. Best moment of the show. The only moment I think I liked from the show, so hell yeah. Anyway, moving on, we have Igarashi finally arrives at home, right? And then she calls up her grandpa, and you might think, all right, what was she gonna talk to her grandpa about? It's her boobs. She's just like, hey, grandpa, what would you do if I had big boobs? Which is a weird way. No, it's specifically, what would you do if my boobs grew big overnight? Which is a real weird way to ask that question. And also, to even ask that question to your grandpa. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, we see a scene where Sakurai turns down one salesman, gets a weird call from Kazuma, which doesn't. They try to play it off as cute because Kazuma calls her like on the work phone, and then it's just super awkward. I don't know. It's not that cute. Just sort of weird and awkward. But it ends up with Sakurai asking Kazuma out at the end of this episode, so cool. We also have a scene where Takeda takes down a pervert on the bus. And that's that. Once again, there's not really a plot to any of these episodes. Like, I guess plot to episode 2 was boobs, but that's also just sort of inherent to the character, so I don't know what to tell you. Things just sort of happen, and it definitely feels like in the manga, scenes are very short, right?
Oh, 1000%. Like, I read chapters of the manga for this because I couldn't be arsed to finish watching the series. After about, like, episode 5. And I just binged, like, 30 chapters of the manga or something like that. And yeah, no, all the stuff that happens in the first 3 episodes gets resolved so quickly.
Yeah, like, it feels like it doesn't feel like each episode is like a coherent whole. It very much falls in that line of, well, there are a bunch of these types of scenes in the manga, so I guess we'll just do one after the other. Like, that's what it felt like.
Like, they didn't cut any for, like, proper viewing stuff or, like, proper progression. They just kind of just left everything in.
Yeah, and even, like, leaving it in, it might work in the manga, sort of in that webcomic style, as we've talked about, where it's, oh yeah, this little bit, all right, then we have that little bit, cool, like these isolated scenes. But in the show, if you're trying to put these isolated scenes together, it feels more disjointed. But we get to episode 3, where we start with Igarashi. It's a cold day, it's Christmas time, and Igarashi, she gives a kid her scarf, very charitable, and then Takeda gives his scarf to Igarashi. Aw, how cute. A lovely thing to do for your daughter. And then we have the Santa lottery, where somebody in the office has to dress up as Santa and give candy. Normally it's just one, but this year, for some reason, there's two. Guess who it is? The women in the office? Of course it's the women in the office. Which, I guess they didn't go as horny as they otherwise could have, so good on them for restraint.
Yeah, like I said, not full Blizzard version, but
Like, it's definitely horny for the Santa outfits, but it could have been worse.
Oh, yes, it could have. Trust me, it could have.
We have another scene with Natsumi where Natsumi convinces Igarashi to get a gift, buy a tie for Takeda, and she does. And so then Igarashi's trying to figure out how to give it to Takeda. She tries to come in early, but that doesn't work. She notices that Takeda has left, so she's like, ah, crap, but then she meets up with Takeda, and they have chicken together, and she still hasn't given it, but then they end up hanging out more, and she eventually gives it to him, and he gives her a scarf. Does that sound compelling? It wasn't.
I don't know, Rem. I feel like your delivery could have been a bit more interesting. Then maybe that would have gotten people
maybe
more
if the show was
interested.
more interesting, my explanation of the show would have been more interesting. Also, we get a scene of Sakurai and Kazuma where, like, last we left them, Sakurai had asked Kazuma out, and I was like, oh, okay, so they're just together. But now they're not properly together. They have another, like, awkward scene, but this time Kazuma asks Sakurai out, and they treat that like it's really moving things forward. But once again, like, they've just sped through that very quickly in 3 episodes. Really felt like they were gonna give a slower burn, but all right, yeah, they both like each other, now they're dating. Cool.
I will say that as the manga goes on, it's more about their active relationship than it is the will they, won't they that a lot of other stories do, which is
Which I totally support, especially if they were good characters. Sakurai's fine. Sakurai is probably the best character. She's just pleasant and sweet. Kazuma, bland as hell. That's it. He's I don't know. He's a quiet dude. That's his character. Like,
I feel like you might need to apologize to Dylan after this.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being a quiet dude. You need to be more than just a quiet dude. Like, if your personality, you're a quiet dude, and, like, that sums it up. Like, it's okay. Like, he's a quiet dude, but he's really passionate about these things. He does this in his spare time. Cool. But if he's a quiet dude, sometimes he takes awkward photos and sends them to the entire office, which feels horribly inappropriate. All right. Cool. That's it. That's a whole fucking character, dude. And that's the show. That's it. I hate it. It's trash.
And yet you're convinced. You're 100% convinced that one of our Patreon listeners changed their name to this show for multiple weeks just to get us to cover it and have you have your reactions to it.
Please, if you are that patron, which you better be listening to this episode. I mean, this is the episode you asked for. Please, tell us that you existed. I'm not crazy.
Because, I don't know, Rem, it feels like you've gaslit yourself.
No, it happened, goddammit. I know it happened.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Sometimes random chance leads to gold. What can I say? Coin flips make things a lot more interesting sometimes.
Fuck coin flips. I'm in hell.
Hey, Rem, let me put it to you this way. The other show on the opposite side of the coin was not about adults.
I'm 200 episodes more into this bullshit than I ever should have been.
But, Rem, think of all the good times. That is textbook abusive relationship stuff right there, isn't it?
It is. It really is. It really is.
Textbook. Holy shit.
No, it's okay, because 1 in 10 is an okay anime. All right. And I guess I just gotta persevere. Losing my mind.
Oh, God. Oh, so, Rem, if you had to guess, what do you think this show is rated on Mal?
God, I have no idea. Because even removing all the objectionable stuff, which is most of the show, it's still like a poorly paced, not interesting show. Like, it's just not well done in any regard, even separating the obviously egregious shit. So I feel like 7.3, which is higher than I would like the Weeps to put it, but I think that's around where they'll put it.
All right, well, the show came out at the end of the fall 2021 season. So it's relatively recent, but there was a lot going on that season, so not as many people tuned into this one. So currently, Mal only has about 102,000 ratings on it, and with 102,000 ratings, My Senpai is Annoying is a shocking, a staggering 7.7.
What the Weebs? That's not okay, Weebs. Weebs? We need to have a talk. Some of y'all, look, not everybody who likes this show belongs on a registry. However, there is a non-negligible amount who definitely do.
Oh God! Oh, I needed this. Oh man.
I didn't.
Oh, I feel lighter, Rem. I feel lighter. And genuinely, if somebody did change their Patreon name to this, please let us know, because I genuinely cannot remember. And I feel like Rem has gaslit himself, and I'd love to be proved wrong.
God.
But with that being said, the final question I have to ask, Rem, is there any chance you'd like to watch a bit more of My Senpai is Annoying?
God, no.
No? You don't want to see the progressing relationship of Kazuma and Sakurai?
I feel wildly uncomfortable at the very thought.
At least I didn't say the relationship between Takeda and Igarashi.
I hate them. I hate all of them.
And with that, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoy Rem really digging deep into why bad tropes are bad, then please head on over to wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, and leave us a review. It means the world to us, and we do read every single one. You have no idea how important it is to us. We pray every night for more reviews, and when we get them, we're happy. It raises Remington out of his darkness just a little bit every time he reads one. But if that is not enough for you, then you can head on over to twitch.tv/animeoutofcontext, where I, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games incredibly poorly. And if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to patreon.com/animeoutofcontext, where you gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including having a lovely personal shout out on the show. So, Remington, who are we thanking this week?
Well, as always, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our Yandere Waifus, who are, you know, anything I could say that's relevant to this show is just inappropriate. So I'm just going to skip this bit. And on that list, we have Alex, Zionist Demon School of Law and Home Defense for Home Rule. Xanax, Yontosaurus Rex, Yandere Neko, Yahir, Why Shaun? Whoever told you that is either a ghost or a bitch. What does a little sister ride? A Nissan. Walk Me Home Gently, Wacky Hypotheticals. Update on the proposal. She said yes, it's all coming together now. Mwahaha, I mean yay. So yeah, that's a thing. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Juliana, Tryfinger's Horse But Hole, Trenton Farrell, Totally God, Titan CNH, Tim Westy, The Susanator, that film guy. That was the worst throw ever of all time. Tetsuo 13, Sister Rosette, Silent Secondary, Shoujo Addict, Don't Send Help, Send Me More Romance Tropes Because My Husband Isn't a Romantic is the title of my light novel. Shaft is producing a Ruby adaptation, so my Yang cosplay will be relevant again. Shaun, can you give me a masculine meow for me, please? If not, Dylan, please insert one.
Shaun is incapable of making any masculine noises, so here's one for you. Meow.
Well, you think Dylan just has, like, a backlog of my various nyans?
Probably.
Or I don't think he does. If
Dylan,
he does.
Dylan will get one out of him. Don't worry. School
Oh.
Days and Planet for the Fields. Salty Pretzel. Ross Palmer. Rhiannon Williams. Rem is a bland bitch tsundere protagonist. Oh, fuck. Remington Merrill. Remington and Shaun, it's up to you to be funny or I'm giving up and dropping out of school. No Waifu, No Laifu. Nick Harvey. Nando the Mando. Mr. Marshmallow Man. Mike the Mutilator. Matthew Drum says Shaun's a bitch. Matt O2 Max. Lukey O. Luke Offenberger. Kazu Morocco, Casey Mosley, Cassidy, Just a Traveler, Julian Garcia, Jax, Jam Hands. I, Remington, redact my statements on Toradora. Also, hey Dylan, wanna fuck ooh. I want to drown in Rem's poop juice. Oh my god. I want Rem to ruin Darling in the Franks for me. I know what it stands for now. I, Remington, enjoy my lolly girls. I guess you're on Keter duty. I can lend you a hand if you need it, says Misaka as she lets out a sigh. Hunter Davies, happy anniversary to the podcast. Hopefully you get to relax and play the best anime trading card game around, White Swords. Glenn Michael Dolan, Fuck of Love Foxen Boy. First we had Linus Weenus, then Biggest Dickus. Now we present Deletus Fetus, brought to you by Gugus Gagas. Farmer Weebs, bad pickup line of the week. If you were a Transformer, you'd be Optimus. Fine. Fantide, Extreme Cobra, Epigamy, Dylan's voice, Rem's charisma, and Shaun's culture would make a perfect man. Now to lure you guys into my fusion chamber. Dramatic T, Data Type, Darkswarm 713, Dante Soriano, Daddy Dylan's yogurt doesn't taste yummy at all, Creed 13, Shy 900, Cheese Monkey, Cage in the House, Brockhard for Geodudes, Big Blue Bear Boy, Ariel Bird, Elise Howard, AJ Honey, Adam McLaughlin, 24 weeks to pure electric 480 HP, 600 pound foot of torque.
I assume that's a truck. I assume that's a truck.
No, there was a lot going on there. Thank you all so much. But moving on, we go over across the pond, over to Wizarding School, where we meet our boy wizards, where every boy wizard is going to get a wholesome activity that a father and daughter could do together.
I don't know why you're choosing that when this was clearly about two adults, but you know.
But of course, what could it be? Warning, you're 800 episodes away. Yes, to the inevitable watch all of One Piece, which I'm sure will definitely happen. I'm sure we'll make it.
I don't know if I could do that.
Go to a museum together. Vincent Calabrese, you have a tea party. Line time is not made out of lines, it is made out of circles. That is why clocks are round. Nyan pasu, nyan pasu. Play dress up, become princesses together. Stick meat, go fishing. Silk Inspector, teach your daughter a new sport. Rivas, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I struggled with that one too.
Manly Petties. Rat Visa, the finish and the judge, jury and executioner. Make snow angels and a snowman. Pocket Gamer 513, chalk art on the driveway.
Oh.
PL Mayor, go for a bike ride together. MT the Poet, make art with, like, finger paint with them. And then post both of your paintings on the fridge.
Wait, are you actually requesting if these people have daughters to do those things?
I think they should. I would
fair.
Unironically recommend all of these activities. Shit, was that PL Mayor or MT the Poet?
I think that was PL Mayor.
Cool. MT the Poet, volunteer together. Momo the Griff, just go out for ice cream and get too many toppings. Mike wants an Overlord review. Go to a bookstore together. Bookstores are dope as fuck. Or a library, whatever works. Mike wants an Overlord review. Go to a new place that neither of you have gone before in town. Miguel Delion, go mini golfing. Marcus Mitchell, from small ball to big ball, go bowling. Maitawa says, if you ever review Monogatari series, I insist on 3 arcs rule.
Jesus.
Build a blanket fort. Inuyasha is my favorite cryptid, says, is your name Yuki because you know I'm crazy for you. Read scary stories to one another. Ooh, spooky. Hinata is a ball of sunshine. Camp out in the backyard and make s'mores. Hey kids, throws biscuit into abyss. Fetch. Karaoke. Harrison, go to the swimming pool and have fun there. That was for Harrison. Haha, it seems we have garnered much power over the past 4 months. It is time. Team Dulu for the invasion of Utah. You will get watch the sunset together. Gay as fuck,
Nice.
but without the fuck, because I'm ace. You are going to get go to the farmer's market. fishermen from Norway, work out, get swole together. Derpy Pangu, go to a state fair or carnival or some other event like that. Beethoven 1201, aka Kohei Izumi, have a movie marathon day. Anime girl, go bird watching. And Choi 4, go on a lovely hike together. Aaron Hegland, go to a pottery class. 2-Sec Shaun, I have to show you my Rule 34 of UE. It is my favorite of my many folders. Talk shit about anime.
Hey, hold on. I don't think you should be encouraging, like...
It's my favorite activity to do with our daughter, Samantha.
I'll call that.
And last but not least, on the Boy Wizard tier, we have dash, dot, 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 dash, dot, 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 dash, dot, dot, dash, dot, dash, dot, 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 dash, 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 dot, dash, dash, dot, dot, dash, dot, 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 dash, dot, 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 dash, dot, dash, dot, dash, 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 dot, dot, dash, dot, dash, dot, walls from Lord Brockdoof. And Lord Brockdoof, just get really into cryptography together. Very fitting for you. But now we go to the upper echelons. The upper echelons, we go to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where Shaun will give classic dad sayings as Joey Wheeler.
Oh dear.
We start with ex-boosh. What do you got? What fatherly phrase or advice do you have for ex-boosh, Shaun?
Oh god, I have to come up with these, do I?
Oh
no.
Yeah, of course.
Oh god, I thought you were gonna give me a list. No.
Hey,
okay.
no, just think of things you've told to Samantha.
Really, making me test my mettle as a parent here. I see. All right, because all parents give advice in bad Joey Wheeler voices.
Yeah.
Why was that the first one that popped into my head? I cannot say that.
Go for it. Do it, coward.
Oh god. The only advice I have for you is, that's Scout from TF2. What the fuck? What the fuck? If you was from where I was from, you'll be fucking dead. No. Sorry about that. Hold on.
Oh,
Joey, where are you? Where are you? You're in the same region, but different.
Hey,
Hold on.
Yukes!
Yeah. Hey, Yukes! Like my dad always said, once you come of age, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.
Good advice. And we have want to go halfsies on a baby. And I'll do this one for you. We'll
Okay.
alternate. Ow, my back. Like a real classic.
Oh,
dad thing.
like dad phrases, not like dad advice?
Either one.
Either one.
I specified either one.
Oh god, I clearly wasn't listening.
Next we have Shaun. We should watch Helsing a Bridge next week.
So, you gonna go mow the lawn?
Then we got Magic Ice Ball. And to you I have, don't you dare touch that thermostat. Then we have my dear old mom.
I sell propane and propane accessories.
Next we have Coral Empire. And to you, I have to say, I'm proud of you. There you go.
Wow, that was wholesome.
Oh yeah, right?
Yeah, Jesus.
Coral Empire, you get the wholesome one. Black Cell, not the white one.
I don't know what that means.
Not the white cell. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a Cells at Work reference. That's a possibility.
I got no clue.
Let's see. Hey, why don't you go grab Daddy a beer?
And last but not least, going above and beyond, we have Dylan Hayden, who I'm gonna show you a little secret that's been handed down for 12 or 13 goof generations. The perfect cast. Well, I have a genuine question. That the very few, I don't know, maybe Dylan will put this ahead so people will actually hear it. Shaun.
Yeah.
What would make for better content? Replacing Goofy with Joey Wheeler or replacing Joey Wheeler with Goofy?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
I want to replace Joey Wheeler with Goofy because having like that intensity, it'd be so good.
You ready to duel again, Koiba?
Gonna send you to the Shadow Realm. We have such terrible Goofies. We
do.
have that was
Like,
back to
objectively.
back some of the worst
bad
Goofy
Goofies.
impressions.
Like,
Yeah.
I think that was the first time I've ever done a Goofy impression, and I now know why I haven't done it before.
We need to work on it. Who knows? Maybe. First of all, Goofy movie, best anime. Also, like, who knows? Maybe an April Fool's candidate.
I wouldn't be against that, honestly. That one wouldn't.
Fuck. Anyway, if you want to reach out, whether it's for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter or send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you all very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister. Because I radiate that cool gawk energy otherwise.
I don't know, Dylan. It's not that cute. Just sort of weird and awkward.
Because I don't know about you, man, but
Yeah.
I had a weird relationship with, like, that square school pizza.
Everybody who likes this show belongs on a registry. In my day-to-day life, I almost always would feel less embarrassed making a porn comparison than an anime comparison. Oh no, Shaun, what are you doing?